In this video, we will take a look at how you can make professional looking AI animations. There have been so many bad videos about this topic, so I decided to show the complete workflow and all of the different techniques so that you can make some good looking animations yourself. We will cover all the different AI animation art styles. I will also show you 3 different workflows to make videos with AI, so by the end of watching this video, you actually understand what good AI animations look like and how to create them. Now for this video, we're using Higgsfield to access Seedance, but also GPT Image 2 and Banana. Those are the 3 main tools that we're going to need for this video. If you want to follow along, I will leave a link to Higgsfield in the description down below, and I will also drop in all of the prompts that I used throughout this video in my school community. You can find it under the YouTube resource tab. The first thing you need to do when it comes to creating your own AI animation is you need to come up with a plan. Most people go wrong here. They either go to ChatGPT or Claude and ask them to write the whole story for them, or they just start generating. And let me explain to you why that is a problem. If I go over to Seedance right now and I just start generating, like for example, a guy running from an explosion. If I generate this 4 times, I get 4 totally different results. Like none of these necessarily look bad. The problem is that like with the exact same prompt, I got 4 totally different results. And that is because I didn't give it a plan. I didn't give it a reference. I don't have a character in mind. I don't have a story in mind. All I'm doing is just generating a prompt of a guy running away from an explosion. And as you see, even the style is completely different on each and every one of them. Now to fix this issue, the thing that I would always start with is your character. You might have some kind of story in the back of your head and you can now start developing that story. But first you want to make a character sheet of your main subject. So to make your character sheet, you're gonna go over to Image, and for this you actually want to use GPT Image 2. I've been testing this out, and in my experience, GPT Image 2 is better when it comes to creating character sheets than Banana. So we're gonna give it a super simple prompt. Character design reference sheet of, then you put in the details of your character. So I'm going with a clumsy and fun young man named Bob. Bob is gonna be the main character in our story. Wearing a colorful, slightly mismatched casual clothes and oversized glasses. Showing front profile, side profile and back. Clean white background. So that is the thing that we're going for. We're gonna put this on high. Then I'm gonna leave this at 2K. And then you can go with 16:9 and you can generate this a bunch of times so you have a few generations. Now we hit generate. Okay, so it gave us a few different results. I ended up going with this result. So this is our main character, Bob. If you want to change anything, then this is the time to change it. Later, I will also show you all the different art styles, so you can easily update this character sheet to create different type of animation style videos. Like for example, right now, this is a bit more like 3D Pixar style, but you can do all kind of different styles. Now that you have your main character sheet, it is time to start generating. And this is both in images and videos. I will show you 3 different techniques. The first technique is one of the easiest and gives you the most control. It is using start and end frame. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna download this, or you can use this as a reference. Then it brings you back to the image generator screen. Then you select GPT Image 2 or any of the models that you'd like. I would recommend either Banana or GPT Image 2. Then you give in your prompt. So I'm gonna explain to you what prompt I'm using here. I'm using a cinematic 3D style of image 1, so I'm referring to image 1, in between brackets, Bob, stands under a rusted, dripping fire escape in a dark alleyway. Heavy rainfalls, neon blue and pink signs reflect in the oily puddles on the ground. Bob looks suspicious, pulling on his collar, high contrast, moody lighting. Basically, this is not complicated. This is me just describing what I want to have the scene to look like. You need to think like a director. You need to think like, okay, what do I want to happen on the screen? If you have no idea on on what you want to generate, stay tuned, the third workflow will help you with this. But now we can hit generate on this, and that gives us this result. So there he is, suspicious looking Bob, like he's up to something. Now we also need to have ourselves an end frame. So you can either use this as a reference so it stays within this style, or you can again use this character sheet. So if we go over and use the character sheet, then I'm gonna do the exact same thing, basically give it a simple prompt and just describing like what's about to happen. So now he's discovering a glowing golden wanted poster of himself. Then you hit generate and then that gives us this result. So then I dropped in both images as a start frame and the other one as a end frame. Then I'm using this prompt, which is using the style, the action, and also the camera. So for the style, we're going with a cinematic 3D animation, gritty noir mood. For the action, I'm literally describing what type of action I want to have. This also helps me to determine like what do I want to see on the screen. So we're going with animate the transition between the frames. Then for image 1, walk slowly through the heavy rain, his shoes splashing in puddles until he stops in front of the brick wall to stare at the poster. You could tag your image 2 right there to further give instructions to the AI that it understands like what we want to see. Then for the camera, a low angle tracking shot that stays close to the ground, moving with Bob's footsteps. Now for the length, I'd like to generate 15-second videos because in my opinion, the longer videos give me more stuff to work with. Now, then I'm gonna go for 720 or 1080p. I must say 720p is fine in most use cases. You can also upscale using something like Astra 2, but this already is quite expensive, like 1080p is quite expensive, so I must admit that. But for best results, 1080p is what you want. Then you hit generate and then you will get something like this. The second technique or the second workflow is about using elements to video. And with Seedance, for example, you can see we have these as like start and end frames, but you can also add things as a reference. And I believe you can add up to like 9 different image references here. So you can throw in all kind of different images and let Seedance figure it out. And that's exactly what we're gonna do in this technique right now. Okay, so we're gonna make a video using 4 references. So for the first reference, I got Bob as the character sheet. Then I got a character sheet of me. Then I have a image of a bar. So I have like the environment, the location. And then I added one more image of a bar just to get the lighting right. And those 4 are gonna be our assets, what we're gonna use as references in Seedance. So you wanna upload them right here. And keep in mind, I have them all as references. Then for the prompt, I'm again using the same method where we're using the style, the action, and the camera. So for the style, we have a mixed media live action integration. Then the action is that image 1, which is Bob, remains as the 3D character itself, while me, Dan, is a real person. So I want to mix AI animation with like real life characters together. Then I'm just adding in some details like me sitting across from him. I'm tagging in the image there. They engage in a stare down and then they lock hands and they start doing an arm wrestling match. Then for the camera angles, I'm alternating between close-ups of Bob's animated eyes and then realistic arm muscles. Like I have some real muscles, guys. So that is our prompt, and make sure you tag in like each of these images so it understands what to reference. Then I'm gonna go with 15 seconds and I generated this already and I got a few different results, and that's why I would suggest generating this multiple times so you can see which one you like the most. So this is the first one we had. That's quite good, right? Like it even looks like I'm about to lose to a AI cartoon character. The thing that I dislike about Seedance is that they add in the music without me prompting it. So you might want to add in the prompt, no music, or you want to fix this later in the post. The other output that I got was this one. I'm more of a fan of this one. I just don't know what the hell Bob is doing with his tongue sticking out in the beginning of this video. Like, what the hell? Like, why? I'm just trying to arm wrestle you. Like, what? With this workflow, we're not using anything like multi-shot or any complicated prompting style. Seedance is so good at understanding the context and understanding what you want to do, and also like having a good sense of what makes sense to put into the video. So that is what my learning process is for using this tool for quite a bit of time now. You can do complicated prompts, but you can also do simple prompts. Both ways it can figure it out. Like if you want to give out a little bit of control and let Seedance handle it, it will handle it for you quite well. The beauty of this workflow is that you don't have to generate images over and over again. Like for example, what we can do right now is if you want to continue this scene, like I want to see who wins. What you can literally do is you can download this video, then you can go back to Seedance, then you can upload your video right here as a reference. So I've just uploaded the video right here. I'm just putting in the prompt, continue the video where it left off and make sure it comes to an epic conclusion, where the guy in the black shirt wins and smashes the hand of the cartoon character through the table. Like of course, if I'm gonna prompt it, I'm gonna make sure I win. This is the beauty of Seedance, like it understands context that well. So now you can just generate another 15-second scene and have a result like this one. So yeah, that's quite cool, right? Like it just continued it and the character consistency is quite good. If you would say your character consistency is struggling, you could add in more references of your characters to help the AI to solve the consistency issue. Now, both of these methods, whether you use them separately or you combine them, already can make you a good video. But this third method might be my favorite. For this, we're using the storyboarding method, and it is super simple. All you have to do is you have to go over to image, then you go over to GPT image 2, and then you upload the character sheet of your character again. Then we're gonna ask it to generate us a 6-panel storyboard featuring image 1. Then we're describing 6 different scenes. For example, I'm having Bob standing nervously on a skyscraper. Then, like you guessed it, Bob is quite clumsy. He is slipping and falling. Then he's plunging through the air. And then next up, he is growing massive white wings. He is pulling up just before he hits the ground. Then he's flying heroically through a 2D Disney style city. It is 15 seconds dialogue. So basically that is the prompt that I have GPT generate for us. One tip I have for you is you might want to add in the image tag on each and every number so that the GPT understands that you're generating it with that image and it doesn't generate something random. Then you're gonna hit generate and this is the result that we got. So this is the storyboard that I generated. Bob standing on the edge, he falls off, falls onto the ground, then he gets wings and then he flies through the city. This is also a way to save yourself some credits because you can write out all the different scenes through ChatGPT, which is one of the cheaper ways to do this. And then once you like it, you can start generating this in Seedance. And the beauty of it is that all we have to do is we need to click on animate, and then it goes over and uploads this as a reference in Seedance 2. Make sure you upload it as a reference, not as a start frame. Then you can just type in your prompt. So let me just remove this old prompt. And now we're gonna do a 2D Disney animation style, animate the sequence from image 1. We don't have to upload this as independent references. We don't have to do multi-shot. We don't have to do anything complicated. We're just saying, Bob falls from a skyscraper, he grows wings out of nowhere, and then he flies through the city. Maintain perfect character consistency across all frames, and I'm gonna do smooth 24 FPS motion. For all of these scenes, I'm generating 15 seconds because there's a lot happening there. Then you hit generate, and then you get this. So there we go. Or Guy Bob just got himself some wings. My advice to you is use the storyboard method first, generate all different kind of storyboards, then start generating these 15-second scenes and make sure that it follows up nicely. Okay, for the next segment, I want to zoom in a little bit on prompting. In particularly, we're using this prompting method called style plus action plus camera. And I'm gonna show you a few examples of easy to hard so that you can understand what a easy prompt looks like and what a difficult prompt looks like. So we're starting off with our character sheet, which is Bob. That is gonna be the reference image that I'm using inside of Seedance. And I have the style of a 3D animated feature film. It's warm, sunny lighting. It's a single shot, one taker, continuous shot, no cuts. That is important. If you want to have that happen, make sure you say it in your prompt, otherwise it's not gonna happen. Then for the action, we have image 1, which is our character sheet. Walk slowly through a vibrant flower garden, from left to right. He stops midway to admire a rare flower, and he continues to walk until he exits the frame on the right. The camera, which we are kind of like directing our camera guy, which is the AI of course. A very slow, steady cinematic pan from left to right, and that starts at the beginning of the clip and ends at the very end of the shot. Perfectly timed with Bob's cross-screen movement. So then that generates us something like this. So yeah, that was not hard to do. The only thing that I messes up with is the movement of the flower. So you might want to generate this one more time. Here's another example where it is easy. So you can go through each of these prompts and you can have a look at what we're generating. For this one, I'm generating a tracking shot. So it's tracking the movement of Bob. Again, one continuous take, tracking shot. You have to give the camera the instructions that it is doing a tracking shot. Here's one more example that I want to show you. This one is a bit harder, where we have an extreme POV from Bob. Like as he's walking through, it's a high-speed first-person tracking shot that mimics the natural head bobbing and tilting of a person walking quickly through a, like in this case, train station. So let's take a look. I just love this shot. I love how he looks at his screen. Like it reminds me of The Flash. But if you want to take a look at all of my prompts, including like all of the harder ones, then you can pause the screen right now. Or if you want to see the videos, you can find them in my school community. Now that you understand how to create your character sheet, how to make videos using 3 different techniques, and also all the different camera techniques, let me now show you different AI animation art styles. So you can change your character sheet to fit the exact art style that you'd like. So I got these different art styles that I want to show you, but before I dive in, let me actually explain to you how you can make this. The first thing you want to do, you want to upload your basic character sheet. Then with that character sheet, you want to give it a simple prompt where you change the style. For the first style, we're going with a arcane style. So I'm simply prompting it to restyle this character design sheet, apply the arcane animation style. Then I'm adding in some things like thick oil paint texture, high contrast, lighting, and like visual brush strokes on the skin. Maintain Bob's features, oversized glasses, and a mismatched clothes, basically adding in some details, then a white background. So that's basically the prompt how I made this. I also have like all the prompts that I used in here. By the way, I also was comparing this to Nano Banana, and it's a pretty interesting way to compare it. In my opinion, both can work. Sometimes I liked Nano Banana more, sometimes I like ChatGPT more. But you can go through this style sheet. Like I've done this for a bunch of different styles. So obviously these are not all the styles that you can choose from, but this is just to give you an example of like different animation styles, so you can have some inspiration about the art style that you want to use for your video. For example, if we have a art style like this, so yeah, this is more like a comic. Then we have like a claymation, which I love too. Again, you can go through this at your own pace. The main thing I want to give you is there's more to it than just choosing the 3D Pixar style animation. Like as you see right here, there are a bunch of other cool animation styles that people can use to make your own unique AI animation. Now, as good as Seedance is, it still has like a few minor limitations. For example, like when it comes to animating things like text, or when it has like complex hand gestures or complex movements, then it might struggle with that. So keep that in mind. The other thing I have to say about Seedance is that it can get quite expensive. And that's the unfortunate thing that we have to deal with right now. The main tip I want to give you is think about your scene first before you generate it, because if every generation will cost you some money. And if you're not sure, generate it with a lower resolution like 480p or 720p. The only bummer is that if it is a really good generation, then you cannot really like upscale 480p to like a good resolution without losing some kind of quality. If you want to check out all of the prompts, the art styles and all of that, I will leave a link to that in the description down below. And if you want to try this out on Higgsfield, I will also leave a link to that in the description. Thank you so much for watching this video. Click the video that's on the screen right now if you want to see more ways of how you can create AI anime or even AI filmmaking using Seedance.